Welcome to another amazing creator spotlight by Pigeon number 12. We are so excited to welcome the John Mclay, one of the OG creators who almost never was. This is the third episode in this series, and I highly recommend you check out the talks by Paige and Burn Buns after this. And without further ado, the John Mclay!
A year ago, in January, I came onto the platform, looked around, did not like it, left. And then something compelled me to come back. And then I discovered the build tools. And I fell in love with that. Kind of systematically went through the tools, figured them out, and just started building. And it was a joy. My first world is Twilight Chess. I built that whole world without any kind of knowledge. And it was possible. I built that just coming in fresh. It's one of the reasons why I think that anybody can build. One of the things I really liked about Horizon is that it's easy to get into, but then has a depth to it. Once you get over a couple little small humps, it could go as high as you want it to go. Once it gets into trigonometry, you could stop if you want, or you could learn those basics, in vector math and stuff like that. You could keep going. When I first started, I was intimidated. I had never scripted anything before, never programmed anything. Thankfully, Alex Lakes in here had just started his YouTube channel. He started very simply, how to make a simple gun. That was my first task, right? When I pulled the trigger and it made a sound and projectile came out, it was like a magical experience. I had created this thing. It filled me with this kind of desire to continue, to keep going, to push it. Oh yeah, the train. So when I first came into Horizon, I had mentioned that I was underwhelmed. And I left and I didn't come back for a while. Well, when I came in, I'm experiencing all these worlds and they're empty. And it's well, what can I do to change this? It needs motion, it needs animation, there needs to be life. I want to feel like I was in a place. And so I made a couple of trees and had them move on a loop. And I made a platform and I stood on the platform. And then I looked to see if it felt like I was moving. And it did. I was okay, a couple of trees going by is good. But what if we had that parallax effect, where the trees up front are going faster, trees in the background are going slower. And then I did that. It felt right. This train's a little bit wider than it should be, because if it was the right size, it would feel too narrow. It wouldn't feel as inviting and as comfortable to people. And that's something that I've found in world building. It doesn't have to be accurate. It just has to feel right. And sometimes you have to make it inaccurate to get it to feel right. And a lot of my time, probably half of my world building time is spent not building, but just kind of sitting in the space, kind of taking it in and getting the feel for it. It's this feels right, or this feels off, let me change this. I'm pushing the limits of Horizon visually up to the breaking point in some cases, and the type of aesthetic I have is informed by the things I like, and I guess people like the same things. Because lots of people will look at Horizon on the web, oh, here's a 2D picture of Horizon. It doesn't look that good. And it's because that's not Horizon, at all. Horizon, it surrounds you, and there's a sense of presence with places and people, and you don't get any of that from that 2D picture. Time moves differently in Horizon. You're hanging out in here, and it feels like it's been 30 minutes, but an hour's passed. And then there's the flip side of this. Feels like I've known Homed and Buffy and John Burns and Solaris for ages and ages. But it couldn't have been more than a year. It's very interesting, and lots of good memories. And there's two qualities that are necessary if you want to be a good builder in Horizon. You don't need technical knowledge, you don't need design skills or anything like that. You need creativity and patience. And with those two things alone, you will make fantastic worlds better than people who don't have those things. That's what I found to be true. What was it that my friend always says? There's a lot on the horizon. Okay, that was my best attempt at a joke.